All right, let's dive right into this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we are going to decode the machinery of the human experience. Specifically, we're going to focus on how to master your biology, that psychological wiring and those survival instincts that actually kind of work against you, and absolutely crucially, how to master your bank account. If you have ever felt like your money is just slipping through your fingers no matter how hard you work, well, you are definitely going to want to pay close attention to the traps we're uncovering today.
Okay, so there's this harsh truth we just need to face right out of the gate. Most people don't lose money because they're unlucky. They lose it because they're impatient and falling for a math trick designed to bleed them dry. This is our hook for today, because look, the financial world, it isn't just a safe little place to store your wealth. It is literally a minefield of hidden taxes on the biologically uneducated. We're talking high-fee mutual funds, so-called guaranteed returns. It's all part of this massive architecture of financial deception that directly preys on our natural impulsive hardwiring.
Just picture this, right? You've had a brutal month, slaving away at your job, trading your absolute most valuable asset, which is your time, for a paycheck. Now, the illusion is seeing that number finally hit your account and thinking, awesome, I'm moving forward. But the reality? The reality is that invisible forces, shadowy algorithms, and honestly, your own psychological glitches are perfectly designed to drain that wealth before you even have a chance to use it. You aren't just fighting to make money out there. You are actively fighting a system that is totally rigged to take it back by hacking your psychology.
So, to navigate all of this, we're going to need a map of the minefield. Here's our agenda. We are going to disarm 5 specific traps today. First, the slow leak of inflation. Second, the debt fire of credit. Third, the mirage of meme coins. Fourth, the systemic skim of taxes and banks. And finally, number 5, we're going to build your escape code.
Let's jump straight into trap number 1, the slow leak. You might also know this as the inflation trap.
Most people think keeping their cash in a shoebox under the bed or in some standard low-yield savings account is for sure the safest move. I get it. It feels incredibly secure to our risk-averse survival instincts. But by doing that, they are completely ignoring the financial world's slow leak. The mechanism here is brilliantly simple, but it is totally devastating. Your uninvested money slowly becomes less valuable over time. Technically, yeah, your $5 bill stays a $5 bill, but it buys fewer instant noodles and way less gas than it did just last year. If your money isn't working for you, it is actively dying. The catch here is that if you aren't investing to beat that 2 or 3% erosion, you're basically watching your future value be half-eaten by a self-fulfilling economic prophecy. Ironically, it's your natural biological fear of losing money that exactly guarantees you're gonna lose it.
Which brings us to our second trap. This is a big one. The debt fire, fueled by interest and credit.
$50. Seriously, how does a seemingly innocent $12 burrito suddenly turn into a $50 regret? Well, through the debt fire. See, our brains are hardwired for instant gratification. They flood our systems with dopamine when we get what we want right this very second. And lenders? Oh, they know this. Interest is essentially money's way of charging you rent just to exist in your hands. The mechanism at play here is compound interest. Now, compound interest is an absolute cheat code when you're the one collecting it, but it is a raging financial fire when you're the one paying it. This trap usually starts super small, like that burrito, or maybe a new TV, bought on a credit card that's charging you 20% interest. If you miss a payment, that interest starts earning interest on itself, snowballing that tiny, dopamine-fueled little meal into a massive $50 regret.
So the crucial point to understand is what this debt actually costs you, way beyond just the cash. It costs you what we can call your adult credibility. Yep, your credit score. This is that shadowy number lenders use to decide one very simple thing. Can they trust you? If they decide they can't, or if you've been burned by the debt fire in the past, they hit you with these soul-crushing interest rates, and that just perpetuates the whole cycle, literally keeping your nervous system in a constant state of financial fight or flight.
Moving right along, let's look at trap number 3, the mirage. Welcome to the wild world of get-rich-fast schemes and meme coins.
We have all seen the thumbnail, right? The finance bro in a tank top screaming at you to YOLO your entire life savings into some shiny new coin named after a fart rocket. The mechanism draining your wealth here is pure FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's a deeply ingrained biological trigger that just completely bypasses logic. You see those vertical green candles shooting up on a chart and your brain lights up like a Christmas tree, making you think you've accidentally won the internet.
But true investing, that's about building real wealth over time. Chasing those green candles is literally just the gambler's high. Sure, you might hit 13 blacks in a row on the roulette wheel, but the house always has the odds stacked against you. For every single meme coin millionaire out there bragging on social media, there are thousands of people holding garbage products and forgotten trash coins that eventually and inevitably just crash right to zero.
Next up, we uncover trap number 4, the systemic skim. This involves the everyday background mechanics of taxes and banks.
So the systemic scheme operates super quietly through all these invisible middlemen. First, let's look at taxes. They are essentially this modern ritual of just giving away a chunk of your hard work to invisible forces. But the real trap isn't just the fact that you have to pay them, it's the engineered complexity of it all. Think about it. The government knows exactly what you owe, but they make you guess anyway. And if you guess wrong, you're cooked. It's a system literally designed to be so wildly complex that it practically guarantees you'll make mistakes, triggering panic and confusion, which then, you guessed it, ultimately costs you even more money.
And honestly, the banking side of the systemic skim is just as wild. Most folks think banks are like giant, secure vaults, but they're really just middlemen, getting rich off your supply. Just think about how fractional reserve banking actually works in reality. Step 1. You deposit $1,000 thinking it's sitting nice and safely in a vault. Step 2. The bank actually takes $900 of it. Step 3. They turn right around and loan your money to someone else so that person can go buy a jet ski, and the bank charges them interest for it. The illusion is absolute safety. The reality is the bank is lending out your supply to meet someone else's demand, and they are keeping the heavy profits for themselves while you get virtually nothing.
Okay, take a breath. We've mapped the minefield. We see the traps. Now let's pivot to trap number 5, or rather, how we turn it all around. Let's talk about building your escape code by understanding the time tax and leverage. Here is the absolute ultimate difference between the working class and the wealthy. The time tax trap is the deadly, incredibly simple math that most people live by, working a job where 1 hour equals 1 paycheck. The glaring biological problem here? You only have so much physical energy and so many hours in a day before you inevitably just burn out. The wealthy don't use magic to get past this limit. They use leverage. Leverage is figuring out how to make your money duplicate itself while you're fast asleep. If you don't transition from trading your limited physical time to using leverage, you just stay trapped in the matrix, perpetually exhausted.
Your financial life is really just a social construct built on shared belief. And if you don't understand the formula behind it, you kind of just stay a meat puppet for the banks and the tax man, driven entirely by your base instincts. So, here are your actual rules to escape. First up, be patient. The biggest trap is waiting too long to start, but remember, wealth isn't built in days, it's built in decades. Every single year you spend chasing dopamine or buying things just to impress people you don't even like is another year you've stolen from your future self. Second, stay diversified. Please don't put all your hopes into one single fart rocket coin. And third, the absolute master key, make compound growth your best unpaid employee. Put that financial fire we talked about earlier to work for you, instead of letting it burn against you.
And hey, that brings us to the end of our explainer today. It is officially time to stop being a walking red flag to your own future, tame those biological impulses, and start building some real value. Master your machine. But before you go, I really want to hear from you. What is the absolute biggest investment trap you've fallen for? Was it swiping a credit card for a regret burrito and getting completely burned by interest? Or did you chase those vertical green candles on a fart rocket coin? Let us know down in the comments. I'll be reading through them. Keep learning, keep focusing on building that escape code, and I'll catch you in the next one.